Alright guys, Remus71 here. Welcome to my 4 Elements Monk build guide. It's taken us a long time to get here, like the Nameless one. We've wandered through the plains, searching for an identity. We've been a blade singer, we've been a swarm keeper, we've been a giant barbarian, searching for a way to harness all 4 elements and converge them. We've finally got here, and the build is challenging, it's confusing. So let's go on a journey through the elements and listen to the ramblings of a madman.
Yes, here. That lantern's ours. Time to collect. Even by this place's standard. Magnificent.
Hell has its laws. Hell. Effect in the cause. Curtain falls, but hold your applause. Squirm, for now down here come the claws.
Right guys, this is the deep dive on maximising the damage of a single smoke powder bomb and how we leverage the 4 element kit to achieve that. So the first thing to note is that A smoke powder bomb generates an additional explosion for each separate instance of damage that it takes. Uniquely, with the 4 elements monk, Fangs of the Fire Snake is 2 separate damage instances. The bludgeoning is 1 instance and the fire is another. And what that means is that lightning charges add twice, Callous Glow Ring adds twice, Horns of the Berserker adds twice, and we can add another fire instance onto the bludgeoning. When we use it once, and then the overstacked lightning charges will generate another 2 explosions. So a fully charged Fangs of the Fire Snake will generate 10 to 12 individual explosions. So Stunning Strike guarantees that enemies fail their dexterity save. So smoke powder bombs are dexterity save. They don't half the damage, they take the full dice roll. So obviously if we're running into melee to stun enemies and then firing a supercharged Fangs at a smoke powder bomb, we need a way to survive that, and that's where evasion comes in. So it's a dex save. Evasion reduces every explosion to 0. We've got +10 to our dexterity saving throws. We've got advantage from clinging shadows, and this is what you'll have seen me doing to Carnis and his gang, to Merkel, and you can just splatter everything in the game. It is Baromancy. People are going to have an opinion on it. My position is that Tally always has a stack, Rower usually has a couple, Bumpernagel always has a stack. They're not expensive. Oliver Tefeco always has a stack. You only need to pick up 6 or 7, 3 or 4, as many as you're comfortable with, to wipe the floor with multiple encounters. You're not putting 20 in a satchel. You're generating 20 explosions, or well 10, 12 explosions from a single one. And our use of them here is intrinsically linked to the monk kit. Thematically, I love the idea of a 4 elements monk researching materials, studying alchemy, trying to understand the laws of nature, and I just think this is the kind of thing a 4 elements monk would do. We've also discovered that no matter how many times a smoke powder bomb explodes, it won't break ice. So the full chain of explosions, the full chain reaction is 1 frame, and ice breaks after the last explosion. So that means on a frozen enemy, they take every explosion doubled, because frozen gives force vulnerability. On top of that, Hexblade's Curse applies to every explosion. So if we generate 10 explosions with vulnerability, that is 80 damage. So we need to harness the power of all 4 elements to complete the sequence. It's quite skill based. There's a bit of luck involved. You need to balance the competing elements. You don't want to discharge your lightning charges too early. You have to load the fire off Fangs of the Fire Snake. You need the AC to generate shield with Cold Snap. And then you freeze and stun with Stunning Strike on Trident of the Waves, which does very respectable damage in its own right. So I'm gonna try and show you what it looks like at its maximum potential now, but even at 60% of its damage cap on vanilla, it's gonna just delete encounters. But let's have a go. So we're gonna Hexblade's Curse him. So we want him to miss us. Kashigo counter. That's generated 2 lightning charges. I'm going to use a flash blinder to guarantee the stun here. Stunning strike is extremely reliable, but I don't want to miss it and not show you. I want his full HP pool to show you his potential, so I'm just going to stun them here.
Recovery in progress.
Right, and then
Citizens, do not be alarmed.
we freeze him. So he's frozen, and then we need to max our lightning charges. And then we're going to place a single smoke powder bomb by here. And our Fangs of the Fire Snake, along with the overstacked lightning charges, is going to be 10 or 11 separate damage instances. So we're going to have 10 or 11 instances of 40 damage, and 1 smoke powder bomb will one-shot the Steel Watcher Titan. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 instances. So 42, 42, 42, 42, 42. They're more than 42. I'm snowblind scrolling through. Right, guys. Let's take a look at one-hit fire vulnerability. So there's been something of a bounty out on this tech. I had a meltdown and put a video up. I was moaning about playing classes I didn't enjoy for likes and subscribes, and she said I'm gonna go back to what I enjoy. And then at the end of that, I was fiddling about with void bulbs and steam clouds, and that came from the 4 elements monk. I've been trying to solve this build for a long time. The combining the 4 elements into one base flow. And yeah, there's a few Reddit posts on different solutions to it. You know, with giant barbarian, knockbacks, chromatic orbs. But we've got it down to 1 hit, and this is how you do it. So you used Cold Snap and Trident of the Waves, because obviously cold weapons are the way to fire vulnerability. And you pair it with Boots of Stormy Clamour and Gloves of Belligerent Skies. And what happens is you force an opportunity attack and they get chilled, and then you hit them with your weapon, they freeze, and they go over the 5 stacks of reverb, so they take 1d4 thunder damage, which immediately breaks the ice, so they're instantly left with fire vulnerability. So I don't have particularly impressive fire damage on my kit. If you want to focus on fire damage, you will vary the core item set to move towards that. But the thing with the build is we're using all 4 elements, but there is an attunement to one in particular, and there's permutations of the core items that you use that will push you more into one element than the other. And obviously you want to, more continually generate vulnerability for that element. But yeah, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of decision making to the gameplay as you wield all 4 elements and try to harness them and control them. There's anti-synergies, and the different elements are competing for your actions and your bonus actions. But I mean, for me, thematically, it's perfect. It's what 4 elements monk should be. Shaping the forces of nature, one after the other. But we're going to coat our weapon in arsonist oil, coat our bow in combustion oil, and then we will haste ourselves, enter turn-based, and we will stun Dollar because he's he's a little animal. So we will provoke an opportunity attack. Provoke another one. And then booming blade this guy. Did you see the ice break? He's got fire vulnerability. See? It instantly breaks. So he's got fire vulnerability. And we will Hexblades curse him. And we don't particularly have a good use for our bonus action now. I guess we could
To the death.
get arsonist soil on Dollar. And then we'll take some range.
I will savor your final breath. My last kill before becoming.
This room
Right.
be thy resting place.
There we go. So they've got fire vulnerability there. They should, yeah, they're slowed anyway, so. A casual steam cloud. Right, we could reapply arsonist oil there. No, didn't reapply it. I mean, hopefully he moves and, yeah. It's an inconvenient, Right, so we will reapply arsonist oil. There we go, fire vulnerability. Right, so he didn't unfreeze. Okay, so they went through the steam cloud, I think. I wonder if I can... Okay, yeah, so he's unfroze and he's got... I didn't notice the steam cloud there. And, yeah, I think it refroze them. So they've got resistance to fire now. So, go back here. Well, yeah, we're 4 elements, guys, and we are using all 4 elements, and yeah, it's absolute chaos. I'm not sure what's happening. They're getting electrocuted. Okay. Right. So there we go, fire vulnerability again. And then we will okay, he's still got his fire vulnerability. He's got arsonist soil and he's wet. This is a shambles, guys. We'll right. We got oil of combustion. I guess that was always gonna miss. Okay, so he's got arsonist oil and oil of combustion. Okay, so we got fire now on there. Okay. It's yeah, there's a lot going on, guys. But yeah, that's one hit fire vulnerability, harnessing the 4 elements. Not really sure what we're doing a lot of the time. Like I said, the build is challenging, it's complicated. You've got competing vulnerabilities. It's not always easy to keep track of what's going on. I mean, that was scruffy gameplay, guys, but the bottom line, 2 reverb items, 2 ice items give you 1 hit fire vulnerability. Let's have a look at the leveling and stats, and I'll cover a few more things. Yeah, I'm I need a cold shower after that, lads, but probably leave myself with fire vulnerability and turn the microwave on and explode. So this is the build guide. We're not going to click through the level up screen. This isn't a beginner's build. It's an advanced build. Presumably, if you've understood half of what's going on and you've reached this point, you can see the level split on the side there. Take Monk to 8. Evasion is key to the build. Take Tavern Brawler with +1 in Constitution to round her out at 4. Dual Wielder at 8. Warlock at 9 to give us martial weapon proficiency. Ready for the item sets in Act 3. I finished with Rogue, but that's not locked in. If you were focusing more on fire vulnerability, if you were in a fire cleave party, you might want to go 3 Eldritch Knight to give you 4 main hand attacks to get fire vulnerability on 4 enemies. With the itemization, it's up to you. There's a lot of permutations. You just need to conduct your own experiments. You need to learn the build, learn its limits, keep an eye on the combat log, and just combine the elemental items as you see fit. So you wake up each morning, think about what you're going to be coming up against. You might want a bit more reverb. You might want more cold damage. You might want more fire damage. You might want lightning charges. You might want AC. You might want radiating orbs. And just combine the elements together and study the results and make a build that works for you. I'm currently running Luminous Armor, Dark Displacement Gloves, the Hat of Fire Acuity, and the Blast Pendant. But the principles remain the same. We travel through the elements. And take notes on how the build performs. And you discover little things like drop an Alchemist's Fire by there, and then throw the comeback hand axe.
Magnificent.
And change places and teleport fire surfaces, and you can combine that with Shield of Thralls to land a stun. And not really have a clue what's going on. Land some radiating orbs. Get confused, wonder what you're doing. And then wait for your next turn.
Mundus full.
You'll discover how to overstack radiating orbs. You've got 40 radiating orbs there. And then you'll learn that it resets on the next turn. We'll throw a water bottle. And freeze one of them. And then he's wet, and we've got cold on our offhand. And then let your haste potion run out. Take 0 damage from fireballs because of evasion. I literally don't know what I'm doing. We need to kill the other elemental, don't we? Okay, he's chilled. He's dead. Okay. He's got fire vulnerability. It's up to you guys. Just play your game. Try things out. Tinker. Experiment. And just enjoy your time with this amazing game. Thanks for watching.